Good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500 from Monday, April the 17th, 2023. I'm going to start by just asking, and I'm sure everybody already understands, if I were to say it feels like Groundhog Day again and again and again. In fact, as I start on the hourly chart here in the NASDAQ, it's just again and again and again and again. It just continues to repeat the same pattern. Sell within the first 3 hours of the trading session, and then spend the next 3 buying it all the way back up. So with the lack of direction, with the lack of input, with the lack of just even feeling like I should call somebody to say, what's going on? Why does the market remain in the same area without moving around? And even attempting to, during the day, take into consideration news that's coming out, different reports that are coming out. I understand that we're in earnings season and we're at the beginning of the earnings season. And today, we got Charles Schwab and we got First Republic, and they both were not necessarily well received. So is it an ongoing thing now that we're waiting for the better ones? Because what ends up happening at the end of the session, as we saw today, is that we have 0 DTE options coming into play, and they step up and they just pump the market back up and close it where they choose according to where and which strikes are in play. What does that do to our count? Basically, absolutely nothing. So again, just to take a quick review, in the NASDAQ, I do believe we're in a minor fifth wave up to complete an intermediate C wave and then the primary B wave on top of that. Still looking for that. We're still sitting at the upper end of a range. We're still just kind of looking, going like being held within resistance levels. But yet, I'm still going to say this could be 5, or it's going to be wave 1 of 5. And then again, if that's the case, what is this? A of 2, B of 2, C of 2 ending in a small failure? Very possible. But if the minute I were to say that and put a 2 here and a 1 there, this rally should continue. But I can't say with any strength that, oh, the market's going to rally from here. That's the way the pattern looks. That's the way it is showing me right now that, yeah, we're likely going to rally. And here again, I got 1, 2, 3, little 4. Maybe we should come up, at least get itself above 13,218. But as I have been describing, if this is wave 1 of 5, then this has to be 1, 2, 1 of 3. So this would be ABC 2, 1 of 3 of 5. And still to complete itself, put in a small and then put in a larger third wave within. So wave 3 of 3 of 5, because we need to start heading up into these resistance zones if the intent of the market is to get above this level, 13,351, which is the top of wave 3 of intermediate wave C. But here we are stuck. And we've been stuck since reaching that high at the beginning of April. So for the last, 2 weeks, we've kind of just been churning around. Yep, it does look like we finished a 4. Yep, it does look like we're in the 5. But again, the market just does wash, rinse, repeat. Groundhog Day every time you wake up and take a look. So coming back down to that hourly chart, it isn't necessarily super strange, but I'm kind of thinking to myself, volumes are remaining low. We're not in a holiday period. We're in an earnings period, but yet we're not finding much interest in trading each day that would come from macro traders or different hedge funds and different other funds that are just moving money in and out of the market. So we're going to continue to wait for the continuation of the earnings season, right? Again, what we have is we have Google on the 25th. Now I have to go back and look. Oh, it's Metaverse. Metaverse reports. What the hell is this? This is going to crack me up. I got something that's reporting soon. Well, I know we have Tesla. Tesla reports on Wednesday. Netflix, that was the other one. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Netflix reports tomorrow after the market close, and Tesla reports on Wednesday after the market close. So we'll begin to roll out the big tech stocks. Netflix is just technical, but they get included in that. And we'll start to get a flavor or a little bit of a picture of how these corps are now going to come out with their earnings against the backdrop of inflation and production cuts and this and that and everything else. So we already got some hints from other companies that not to be expecting anything super great. We're not going to be blowing the doors off, but who knows anymore? Who knows? So again, Netflix tomorrow, Tesla on Wednesday, and maybe then we will see, in terms of direction, what the NASDAQ's intents are. Because outside of this, as we move forward, we have the next Fed meeting on May the 3rd. We have Apple's earnings on May the 4th. We have a host of additional companies reporting. We have AMD on the 2nd, so they go the day before the Fed. Amazon comes in on the 27th. We have Google again on the 25th of April. Honeywell, which is a part, on the 27th. Microsoft on the 25th. So again, next week, we get the majority of the big techs coming in and reporting their earnings. So we may sit this way until tomorrow afternoon, until we find out what Netflix is going to say and what Tesla is going to say on Wednesday. All possibilities remain open. Again, I'm not putting in a label, but you can see that it is clearly 5 up. This is clearly an A, a B, and a C. So if anything, it is a small failure because it did not come down below 13,058, even though I had support all the way down. And it looked at one point that it was going to pretty much do it, but you can see, if you look at that candle, it came down and blasted, came down and just went straight back up. It was all in one hourly move. And if I break this down even more, like to a 5-minute chart, you're just going to see wicks, tails everywhere. It was that kind of a day. And let me just show you to give you an idea. It was just wicks everywhere in the market today. So great move. But look at all the wicks, wick. And then suddenly just go. And there wasn't any news that I was aware of. It would just push this and not stop. But even inside of it, you can see we got all these different things about these crosses, and this goes up, shoots back down. It was just a very strange day. And again, low volume. I didn't check it to the end of the day, and I'll do that right now. Oh, it's all gone. Yeah, sorry. So again, here's what I'm going to go with. That the market should continue to move higher. If we got a 1, 2, 3, 4, get a little bit of a 5, at least get above 13,197, and we can possibly put in wave 1 of 3 of 5. Then we're going to do another little wave 2. And then we should get into some fireworks. And that may hold off until we get Netflix's earnings at the end of the day. So if you remember, we're just going to go back that last time they reported, bam, they went through the roof. Bam, it just took off. So they've kind of held even themselves into the same area. So let's see what they want to do. Let's see what they want to say. Because, again, because we're just kind of waffling around here, because here's the other side of this coin. If this is not going to turn into a wave one, but instead we have a one down, because remember what the other side of my coin is, or the other side of the market is that this is wave four, right? Wave four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 5, it is a larger failure should it occur. So please understand, I am not dictating or advocating or saying that that is the case. In fact, I'm advocating for a continued rally to clear up this picture and to put a top in for primary B that is more fitting for that type of a structure and for the degree in which it's occurring. So, but if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 5, and it's 1, A, B, and we get a little C and a wave 2, then we're going to go back down. Or even if it's A, B, C, 2, we should go back down. So no matter how we want to look at it, if it's like, if we're just going to do wave A of 2, and then we have an A, B, C, wave B of 2, and we come back down in a C wave, and then we rally again. All things are possible right now because we are stuck. The markets are stuck. And the volumes is still in these 0 DTE options is phenomenal. So all of the activity is being held over there. And, you know, even the VIX now below 18. So they continue to mark the VIX down. It is just reminding me again, and I know I've discussed this in the past, of winding a coil tighter and tighter and tighter. And you've got it so tight in your hand that if you let it go, it's just going to wham, just blast out of your hand. It's just because all of that energy, all of that pent up energy in the spring, in the coil, explodes. That's, again, the type of situation I think we're kind of moving into. That all of that energy, day after day, that energy gets kind of wound up, that eventually it just lets go and it explodes. So we are going to have to wait and see. Both sides of the coin again. We got a couple of things going on, even if it's still within the wave 2, looking for this thing to kind of come up and finish wave B of wave 2 and then put in a C wave. But wave 1, quick to the point. Even wave A, quick to the point. And this B wave, elongated. And then we still do a C wave down, which would likely be quick to the point. So no matter what's going on, it should begin to pick up and move a little bit quicker. So on one hand, the upside, we're looking for a completing move, a small little fifth wave within this structure right here, just to cap it off and to finish it. If it gets up to this resistance point, so be it. Does not necessarily need to. We can go purely on the count itself. And I'm not going to clog up the chart, but you can draw your, fibs. Again, if this is 1 and this is 2, and now we're going to be looking for wave 5. We have wave 3. Supposing we have wave 3. So you would run extensions from there to wherever this bottoms out. And then you're going to get your extensions for a fifth wave. Most common, wave 5 would be 6.618 of wave 3. So still, it could be a slow slog higher. If it's a C wave to complete the B of an internal wave 2, Then I'm going to look for it to come back down, go back down that level. But again, I'd have to see that where C wave is going to end up so that I can then, one more time, put in my extensions for the downside move. I'm still, since it's within this same range and it's not really moving, I just think it needs to get below 13,058. And I remember that we had support like at 13,025-ish or somewhere in there, not that far below 58. Excuse me, to complete what we would then mark as wave 2. But pretty much it's looking very flat. So even if it just kind of came in somewhere inside, it still could be complete. So it remains contained for yesterday. Here's showing you how slow and how flat it all is. Hourly, 200s, flat, 50, flat, 20, 4, 8, starting to curve up, slightly starting to curve up. But the market is again beginning to get a couple of sellers in there. Over in the S&P, it truly is not giving us any additional information either. And let me open up this one. So here we are again, up here flirting with 4180. Can't seem to get above 4188. Can't seem to get below 4137. We're stuck in a range. But here you go. This is overnight. This is our opening right there. And then down, 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 down. And once it hit the low, just below 4150, by the way, bam, bam. Take it right up to session highs, but failing to really build on it. So again, if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 of 5, what is this? 2 of 5 remains here, small 1, small 2, into that third, which should continue. We shouldn't really start to sell. We can have a little pullback, but we should continue. And get, first of all, above that triangle trend line, which remember, that still can be in play. But if it's going to build on this, again, using the count that I have, I'll be right there. I'm going to start to get some of this off because it just, you can see, it gets very cluttered inside there. Well, we have one, we're in again, a C wave, right? An intermediate C wave. I'm leaving the triangle pattern, but as I have discussed, in order for that to be valid now, I'll go one more. I'd have to move this primary A over to the June lows. And this would be intermediate A, intermediate B, intermediate C, intermediate D, and then we're in the intermediate E wave, which cannot take out the high of what would be considered intermediate wave C, and that remains at 4250. So, yes, the possibilities to add 75 S&P dollars onto this rally exists, but the triangle pattern suggests that we get maybe to 4,200. So again, bringing it all the way back down to the hourly chart, this is it. But we get up there, it can't get there, and it's not following through. Does that suggest that we have a fifth wave here? And then we should be going down? It would not be in a triangle pattern, in my view. It would just be a straight C wave up, and then we put the B, and then we should start to go down. And this would be 1, ABC 2, and ba-boom. So again, we remain in a very iffy position, a very Groundhog Day type of position. Sell it off, buy it back. Sell it off, buy it back. And it's the same pattern. We open up, we do a little buy here and there. The sellers move in, sold, 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 sold. Buyers come back, going, okay, you're all done. Boom. We're taking it up because this is where we're going to close it according to the 0 DTE options within the ES and the SPX. Excuse me. So again, not much to be adding. I'm leaving numbers off of these charts because I need to get both sides. So again, if they're going to pick up on the upside, they need to get it going. They need to get it going. This is not, I mean, this is a good start, but again, it would be 1 of 5, 2 of 5, or A of 5, B of 2, C of 2, bigger failure. So I'm not really a big fan of that. But the 1 of 5, 2 of 5, 1, 2, 3 of 3. Okay, I can go with that, but we got to get going with it. And if that's the case, we continue to have strong potential for 4,200, 4,227, ending up where we have a small cluster at 4,255. That's the area that I think can complete this whole picture. And actually, under the triangle pattern, can also, in that area, we're looking at just below 4,250. It cannot exceed it, but it can get up to these upper levels and then go. But we're looking for a cleaner pattern than what we have. Moving averages, pretty flat, pretty nothing. Not really much going on. So what I got going on in terms of economic numbers, tomorrow we have new home sales and consumer confidence. Both are coming out at 10 a.m. Eastern. Consumer confidence, we always think it's like, well, yeah, they're the ones supporting the market, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe there's going to not be such a great number, and we make a turn. For the balance of the week, we have durable goods. We have GDP on Thursday. They may be waiting for GDP. Again, I just don't know what it is that the market's now got to hone in on. It could be a combination of them. So, but we'll see. All right. I'm going to leave it right there. Our next update will be on Tuesday, April the 18th.